Aloha everyone, Kristara Lakshmi-Ditten here from San Diego, and I welcome you to today's live. It will be about abundance, holistic abundance, which is connected to your inner man's structures and systems. And I am the person who believes that we all have hidden treasures inside of us, which are connected to our talents. And when we activate those talents, we can activate our holistic abundance and therefore also manifest our inner fairy tales into our dreams on our terms. And this is something I have been working on for the last 20 years, personally and professionally. And this month we'll be sharing a lot of that knowledge and stories and what is possible, you know, to do with it in your life. So I see Britt Marie is here. Aloha, thank you very much for being here. And when I go back in time, so many years ago, I started to actually first channel my inner man. And it was really interesting what the kind of information started to come out. And I really had not really very clear clue what it kind of entails, how it looks, how I can even, you know, communicate with my inner man and, you know, how it can, you know, make a difference also in my relationships. So one of the first things which I started to realize was that, you know, inner man is really connected to structures and systems. And I started to look through my own life, where and how I could see and improve. So right now, for example, if you look at your own life and you see, let's take like your finances. Are you happy with your finances? Are you happy how much you have, how it's working, how it comes in? Is it enough, more than enough? Is it not enough? You know, all of those questions. So that can be your, you know, homework. Go through that. And relation with your money and finances is actually showing in what situation is actually happening with your inner man. So if your inner man is not able to support you to create more than enough, usually, of abundance or finances, then your inner man is actually restricted and can't help you to manifest more abundance. So this is a sign for you that, okay, I have to do some things differently. As I said yesterday, for instance, you know, words, if you want to change something, you have to change something you have done prior, so to get the different result. So like a little evaluation you can do here about finances. So second thing you can look is how much do you move and train yourself per day or per week. And this is also very funny. Over the years, I've noticed it's correlated to your abundance as well. So oftentimes, if you really don't really work out much or not at all, it actually because body is material object, so to say, it's actually connected to also money and abundance. And if you don't move enough, then it's also like, you know, your own material body, or, you know, you kind of get a little stoic and static. And then this is also much harder for your inner man to kind of be active and give you the possible kind of move forward or kind of thing. So this is also something to evaluate then, like how many times do I train? If I don't, like what could I include? And all of those things, because this is really important and it will really influence your next year pretty much, very, very much, you know. And today also, which is funny, before we go to the next point, is actually I should have talked about the inner woman today, but because we are in the beginning of the year, you know, and the inner man, my inner man and everyone's inner man is very eager to see more systems and structure put in place for this coming year, so that he can really support and connect and manifest even bigger than before. And most people, if they don't do it in a sustainable way, then, as you know, New Year's resolutions, if you say it and you don't follow up and you don't make it into your lifestyle, most people by the end of January, it's gone, and they just continue the way they have continued before. So this doesn't really work in a long term, So the third thing I noticed was that, I realized that inner man really wants to shine, wants to be in the middle of attention and, shine all the things he can do and, share and press and so on. So also check in your life, where are those areas where you are actually, a little kind of hiding or, holding back, or like, okay, it's not perfect yet. I will kind of, take more time. And sometimes you just need to implement, even if it's not perfect, Also, the old me, I could have waited 6 more months to make this program for this month, all fine-tuned and beautiful and so on. But I decided, like, I'm going to jump on and just test several things and see how this works, So this is where it also comes into. So think, are you afraid to shine as you are? Are you, like, openly sharing your talents? Are you doing what you're supposed to do? And if not, why? If you are living in a wrong country or wrong community or with wrong people, then you definitely need to change. If there is something else you can do to choose differently, because this will create also the rest of your year differently. And believe me, your inner man is very eager to, help you with those little things. So, and then when I started to inner man, what was also really, really interesting was I started to attract lots of gentlemen into my life. And several times I also got approached by some of these gentlemen, and they really acted like real gentlemen, but they also oftentimes were kind of having their shadow sides coming up. So oftentimes they approached me as, would you be my, lover? And even though it was very kind of appealing thought as such, I went deeper into me and kind of checked in, like, is this what I want, or is this not what I want? And realizing it's not what I want, and made it very clear, and one of the best things, to do. And continue just to observe these gentlemen, like, how they were working and how they were behaving, how they were communicating with me. And this actually started to build up a little deeper relationship also with my inner man. And as this was kind of going deeper also, at the time I was living in Mexico, and some of the evenings I didn't really feel very, safe. So I went to bed and I imagined that, I'm just going to lie down, and then now my inner man will just hold around me, and I can just let go, and I feel so safe, and I will fall asleep like that. And I did that for months, and I started to feel very safe, and I felt so good every evening. I was actually like waiting for that moment. And just yesterday was a 5 years anniversary for me and Michael to actually, for our first kind of official date. And then what happened afterwards, Michael was suggesting that, I would like to just, be close to you and just hold you that whole night. No sex, but just hold you. And I was like, I don't think that's going to work because oftentimes it never had worked. And it's like, okay, but it's a good way to test if this man is, keeping his word. And we did it, and he was just holding me the whole night. And I felt really good, very safe. And then I realized, like, oh my God, this is exactly what I was doing with my inner man. And here is my new candidate for my king, and he's doing that thing. So you see, like, what I was doing inside of me, in my imagination and in connection with my inner man, was actually manifesting into the outside reality. And today we are happily married, we are twin spirits, and it's getting better and better every day, and it's beyond even what I could have even imagined. There's lots of good and new things coming out every now and then. So this is really amazing. And also at the time, I also in the beginning, when I started to really connect with my inner man more, one of the girlfriends I had at the time, she was married to a man for over 20 years. And we started to actually just with each other, just open doors and kind of like play like we are each other's, inner man, and treating each other as we would like wish that we were treated by men, and most of the times never were. So at one point, her husband actually did never see what we were doing, like stuff like that. And then what happened was that one of these days, her husband was opening the car door for her, and she was just blown away. It's like, wow, what happened, So the same, we started to, and these things started to just energetically transfer into the consciousness of the people around us, and they started to also act like that. So what happened there was that we were stepping more and more into our inner queendom and acting as a queen, and also asking others to do the same thing around us. And then we started to actually receive it in multiple forms and multiple ways. So really amazing thing to think about, how you can activate your inner man. And one of the things I did also, I actually oftentimes I made dinner and I laid the table for two. I had the candle, and I imagined that I will have my dinner with my beloved king or partner. And I did it oftentimes, and then I even thought about what kind of conversations we are going to have and so on. So I was imitating, and suddenly it was also my reality. I was like, wow, this, So you start to work with the invisible world, and then it manifests, and this is the manifestation and bringing things from the invisible, which is the land of the inner woman, into the visible, which is the land of the inner man. And then what was also really amazing in this whole journey was to understand how important it is to have kind of like a framework and structure in my life, more kind of organized and so on. So you have probably all seen, during the summertime, some people have this small, small little pool where you can pump it up so that you can fill the edges with air, and then you can put little water inside. And most people, when they also reach me and say like, Crystal, my money is in a bad order and this and that is really bad, and then we look deeper into it, and then what we understand is that actually those containers or structures or walls of that pool are not up. So if you try to fill it with the water, it just kind of splashes out, and nothing is going to happen because it can't just stay there. So in your life as well, you need to create structure, and that's everything. Discipline. When do you wake up? When do you work out? How much do you work? How much do you rest? All of these things which create your life are made of choices, and these choices can start to build structure and system, and also foundation for your dreams and your life on your terms. And your inner man is there. He wants to help you, but if you don't do those choices, then nothing will happen. Like, let's just take the example of me doing these Facebook lives now throughout this month. So what happens is that every day I have to put it into my schedule. Then I have to let everyone know when this is happening, and then they can come and follow, and then they can do the homework and stuff or not, you know. So depending on all of these things, it all kind of plays in. And this is structure and system, which creates a flow of energy, action, and results, you know. So the common thread throughout all of these lives will actually be holistic abundance. I will talk about my favorite topics and things I've worked most with, and all of them are one way or the other connected to holistic abundance. So it will be a very amazing journey. So now for you to check, you know, how is it with my container? Like, is this in place? How is it, you know, you have things, you know, set up? What is different? What is, you know, needs to change? Because every choice you do, it will create your future. It will create your year according to your choices. So maybe it's time to check this as well. Like, how is this? Does it need to be changed? What else is happening with it? So now, today, I will still put also here the link to the meditation to meet your inner family. If you haven't done it yet, so you can do it once more and see if you can meet them. And sometimes people say like, Crystal, I can't really vision these things and it's really hard. And then just make it up first, you know. How would you like your inner man to be? And then take it from there, you know. Take it as a little game, you know. You just make your own cartoon kind of a thing. And I also share this little slide I had in one of the latest Facebook lives I did also last year, in the end of last year. Some of the main existential questions, which will be also very good for your next year. So you can also go through those things, because these will help you to connect with yourself, and I'll put it here as well. So do all those things. And today I have a little, you know, giveaway as well. But I don't just give it away to anyone. So the question is, did you do the inner family meditation already? In what situation was your inner child? Did you meet your inner child? Are you interested in inner family program? And if you are, so what is it, like, you know, you believe you could get out of it? So these questions, you can send it as a comment in the underneath this video, or you can send it also personally to me by messenger, whatever works best for you. So and then if there are many more answers coming, then I will pick someone who will then be and get like a little additional material, so about the inner family. So really good. So thank you so much for today. And if you haven't yet become the follower to all of my channels, please do that. I will put them also into this little PDF I will create, so you can check if you know all of these, and also put like to the videos. If you have other people who would really benefit from this video, share it in your circles and networks, and also invite them to listen to the other ones in the coming days. So every my evening, which in Europe is your morning, you can go to this channel here, Liquid Heaven Facilitator, and there will be the time when is the next live going to be in English. So thank you so much, and I hope this was inspirational for you. And give me feedback if you have some more questions. Was nice to have you. All the best, and enjoy your time with your inner man. Go through your finances. Are you shy to show and shine? and then also training, and kind of map how these are and if there are any changes you need to do. Mahalo, thank you, and may aloha always be with you.